Hello, welcome to the Bed Sheet Chronicles. What's that? Well, it's an art project that first starts out with me meeting with people in the community, friends, family, strangers, and posing the question, what do you cover in life? And then they respond, we take a photo, and then I make pieces from their bed sheets. So why the bed sheet? Well, it's a large fabric that's easy to manipulate, but also it's a symbol for the things that we put to cover ourselves in our most intimate space. The bedroom is a symbol for where we go for rest, where we dream, where we have sex, where there's intimacy, all of these things that cover up. And so what we want to do is to shed light on the things that we cover so that we can create spaces for vulnerability and transparency and our shared humanity, shared experience. So come and experience the Bed Sheet Chronicles. So I just wanted to highlight a few pieces in this exhibit and tell a few stories of the sheets or the piece. This one is pretty interesting. I have a lot of actor friends, and so meeting with them, there's lots of the same things that they talk about, what they're covering up, whether it be in an audition or in a show, hiding who they really are, or trying to be this thing that you should be when you're walking into that room. And so I wanted to expose that, and so that's where this story comes from. And then the wood is meant to represent our torso, and a lot of the other conversations I had with people was covering up the way that they look, the way that their body is, their weight, and insecurities around that. And so exposing that. And then this key, well, that's whatever you want it to be. So this is another piece with an interesting story. This is one of the first pieces I did with wood. What's interesting about this wood is I connected with a dear friend, Stu Cape, who right at the beginning of COVID, we had unlimited time, and we had a mutual friend who hired us to put cedar siding on her shed. And so this is all tongue and groove, and lots of the first couple pieces, this is all of the frames. So that's a special connection for me and those two people. And he also taught me a lot about electrical, because I knew nothing. Never got electrocuted yet, so that's great. And this story has a sentimental value for me because this is my mother's sheet, the floral pastel pattern on the inside. And I can remember seeing that sheet growing up as a kid. And then this is my aunt's bed sheet as well. And so this one's called Inner Beauty, and also connected to a media portion talking about a woman's coming of age story and finding the inner beauty through the eyes of another. I mean, I can speak from experience when I am falling in love and someone sees a part of myself that I didn't see in myself, but because they've seen it, now I can also have confidence in it too. So this is illuminating the inner beauty through the outside. This is another piece with an interesting story. It's called My Royal Power, and it was taken from an interview that I had with a friend on Bainbridge Island, who's also a Reiki master. So she's very in tune with energy and her own personal power, and she's also in her 40s and dating again, and she talked about when she's meeting with people, sometimes she has to hide that power because it's intimidating to another person. And so that's the story behind this, and it's our royal power. So what's royal than purple? And what's also interesting about this piece is that this fabric was eco-dyed, so that's the process of taking flowers and steaming them into the fabric. So this has things like lily and roses in it. And inside there, on both bases, are these bronze or bronze-like ceiling hubcaps. One interesting story about these lights is there was an event center in Seattle that was going out of business. It had a warehouse full of light bulbs and stuff that they were getting rid of, so this is all blue backstage lighting. Yeah. So this is the first piece for the Bed Sheet Chronicles, and it's called Motorcycle Circus. And it was made in my parents' backyard. This fabric is also my aunt's, so it was bleached and then dyed these circusy colors. And also it kind of reminds me of this jellyfish with the dangly bits at the bottom. The bases are motorcycle spokes. So the fabric is just tied to it, and then this like little trim is just sewn to it. So there's no other things besides the bases, the light, and the sheet. So also inspiration for this project is this tradition called Clooty Wells in Scotland, our ragtime tree in Ireland. And I'm really fascinated with all things Celtic and Celtic spirituality, so I was inspired by this tradition. They would take a cloth from an ill person, go to these holy wells around Scotland and Ireland, dip it in, pray over it, and then just tie it to the tree. And it said that as the fabric decays, so the illness decays in the body. So if you go to those places, you have this tapestry of decaying fabric in the trees. But it's also, I think, become a tradition to write an intention or a wish or a prayer. So for this exhibit, people have come and written down things that they cover, our wish, our hope, and brought it to the forefront. And what's also nice about this project is there's a catharsis that comes with ripping of fabric. It's in the traditions of Celtic things, but also in the Bible. In the Middle Eastern, when they were grieving something, they were the rendering of garments and ripping it. So it's that sort of thing too, of physicalizing the things that are on the